Now Jephthah, the Gileadite, was a mighty man of valor, but he was the son of a harlot, and Gilead begot Jephthah. Gilead's wife bore sons, and when his wife's sons grew up, they drove Jephthah out.
Thou shalt not inherit in our father's house, for thou art the son of a strange woman.
And Jephthah fled from his brothers, and dwelt in the land of Tarb. And worthless men banded together with Jephthah, and went out raiding with him. It came to pass, after a time, that the people of Ammon made war against Israel. And so it was, when the people of Ammon made war against Israel, that the elders of Gilead went to get Jephthah from the land of Tarb. Then they said to Jephthah,
Come and be our commander, that we may fight against the people of Ammon.
Did you not hate me and expel me from my father's house? Why have you come to me now when you are in distress?
That is why we have turned again to you now, that you may go with us and fight against the people of Ammon, and be our head over all the inhabitants of Gilead.
If you take me back home to fight against the people of Ammon, and the Lord delivers them to me, shall I be your head?
The Lord will be a witness between us, if we do not do according to your words.
Then Jephthah went with the elders of Gilead, and the people made him head and commander over them. And Jephthah spoke all his words before the Lord in Mizpah.
The tension in the air was thick as smoke when Jephthah made his final attempt at peace. Rather than rushing headlong into battle, this seasoned warrior chose the path of diplomacy first. He gathered his most trusted messenger and gave him words that would either prevent a war or justify the bloodshed to come. The messenger rode hard to the Ammonite court, carrying Jephthah's carefully crafted response to their territorial claims. Standing before the enemy king, he delivered words that cut through centuries of confusion with the sharp blade of historical truth. "Thus says Jephthah," the messenger declared, his voice echoing through the royal court. "Israel did not take away the land of Moab, nor the land of the people of Ammon. You accuse us of theft, but history tells a different story." The Ammonite king leaned forward, his advisors whispering among themselves as the messenger continued with devastating precision. When Israel came up from Egypt, they walked through the wilderness as far as the Red Sea and came to Kadesh. From there, they sent messengers to the king of Edom, saying, "Please let me pass through your land." But the king of Edom refused. In the same manner, they sent to the king of Moab, but he would not consent. So Israel remained in Kadesh, respecting the borders of their neighbors. The messenger's voice grew stronger, building his case like a master lawyer, presenting evidence to a jury. "Our people went along through the wilderness and bypassed the land of Edom and the land of Moab entirely. They came to the east side of the land of Moab and encamped on the other side of the Arnon River, but they did not enter the border of Moab, for the Arnon was the border of Moab." Then came the crucial part of Jephthah's argument, the real story of how Israel acquired the disputed territory. Israel sent messengers to Sihon, king of the Amorites, king of Heshbon, saying, "Please let us pass through your land into our place." But Sihon did not trust Israel to pass through his territory peacefully. Instead, he gathered all his people together and camped in Jahaz and fought against Israel. The messenger paused, letting the weight of this revelation sink in before delivering the knockout blow. "And now the Lord God of Israel has dispossessed the Amorites from before his people Israel. Should you then possess it? Will you not possess whatever Chemosh your God gives you to possess? So whatever the Lord our God takes possession of before us, we will possess. The religious argument was followed by a challenge that exposed the weakness of Ammon's entire claim. And now, are you any better than Balak, the son of Zippor, king of Moab? Did he ever strive against Israel? Did he ever fight against them? While Israel dwelt in Heshbon and its villages, in Aroer and its villages, and in all the cities along the banks of the Arnon River for 300 years, why did you not recover them within that time? 300 years. The number hung in the air like an accusation. For 3 centuries, Ammon had made no claim to this land, raised no objection to Israel's presence, fought no wars to reclaim what they now called theirs. Their silence for 300 years destroyed any legitimate claim they might have had. Jephthah's final words, delivered through his messenger, were both a declaration of innocence and a challenge to divine judgment. Therefore I have not sinned against you, but you wronged me by fighting against me. May the Lord the judge render judgment this day between the children of Israel and the people of Ammon. The message was complete, a masterpiece of diplomatic argumentation that combined historical fact, legal precedent, religious conviction, and moral authority. Jephthah had laid out the truth with surgical precision, offering the Ammonite king a face-saving way to withdraw his claims and avoid unnecessary bloodshed. But the king of the people of Ammon did not heed the words which Jephthah sent him. Pride, greed, and the intoxication of military power proved stronger than truth, justice, or wisdom. The Ammonite king's response to Jephthah's irrefutable arguments spoke louder than any word. He had no answer to the historical facts, no response to the logical arguments, no counter to the moral challenge. His refusal to engage with Jephthah's message was itself an answer, the answer of a man who preferred war to admitting he was wrong, who chose bloodshed over backing down, who valued his pride more than the lives of his soldiers. Jephthah had done everything honor and wisdom required. He had sought peace, spoken truth, and appealed to the highest court of all, divine judgment. The war that would follow would be fought with clean hands and a clear conscience, knowing that every attempt at peaceful resolution had been exhausted. Sometimes even the most eloquent truth cannot penetrate a heart hardened by ambition and pride. The Ammonite king's rejection of Jephthah's appeal sealed the fate of both nations, ensuring that the dispute would be settled not by words, but by the sword.
Then the Spirit of the Lord came upon Jephthah, and he passed through Gilead and Manasseh, and passed through Mizpah of Gilead, and from Mizpah of Gilead he advanced toward the people of Ammon. And Jephthah made a vow to the Lord.
If you will indeed deliver the people of Ammon into my hands, then it will be that whatever comes out of the doors of my house to meet me when I return in peace from the people of Ammon shall surely be the Lord's, and I will offer it up as a burnt offering.
So Jephthah advanced toward the people of Ammon to fight against them.
Forward, men! Press the attack! She'll strike them down!
The Lord delivered them into his hands, and he defeated them from Aroer as far as Minnith, 20 cities, and to Abel-keramim with a very great slaughter. Thus the people of Ammon were subdued before the children of Israel. When Jephthah came to his house at Mizpah, there was his daughter coming out to meet him with timbrels and dancing, and she was his only child. Besides her, he had neither son nor daughter. And it came to pass, when he saw her, But he tore his clothes and said,
Alas, my daughter, you have brought me very low. You are among those who trouble me, for I have given my word to the Lord, and I cannot go back on it.
My father, if you have given your word to the Lord, do to me according to what has gone out of your mouth. Because the Lord has avenged you of your enemies, the people of Ammon. Let this thing be done for me. Let me alone for 2 months, that I may go and wander on the mountains, and bewail my virginity, my friends and I.
Go.
And he sent her away for 2 months, and she went with her friends, and bewailed her virginity on the mountains. And it was so at the end of 2 months that she returned to her father, and he carried out his vow with her, which he had vowed. She knew no man, and it became a custom in Israel that the daughters of Israel went 4 days each year to lament the daughter of Jephthah the Gileadite. Then the men of Ephraim gathered together, crossed over toward Zaphon, and said to Jephthah,
Why did you cross over to fight against the people of Ammon, and did not call us to go with you? We will burn your house down on you with fire!
My people and I were in a great struggle with the people of Ammon. And when I called you, you did not deliver me out of their hands.
So when I saw that you would not deliver me, I took my life in my hands and crossed over against the people of Ammon, and the Lord delivered them into my hand. Why then have you come up to me this day to fight against me?
Now Jephthah gathered together all the men of Gilead and fought against Ephraim. And the men of Gilead defeated Ephraim, because they said,
You Gileadites are fugitives of Ephraim, among the Ephraimites and among the Manassites.
The Gileadites seized the fords of the Jordan before the Ephraimites arrived. And when any Ephraimite who escaped said, Let me cross over, the men of Gilead would say to him, Are you an Ephraimite? If he said no, then they would say to him, Then say Shibboleth. And he would say Sibboleth.
Say Shibboleth!
For he could not pronounce
Sibboleth.
it right. Then they would take him and kill him at the fords of the Jordan. There fell at that time 42,000 Ephraimites. And Jephthah judged Israel 6 years. Then Jephthah the Gileadite died, and was buried in among the cities of Gilead.
The story of Jephthah powerfully reminds us that God specializes in transforming rejection into purpose. Born to a prostitute and cast out by his own family, who declared he would inherit nothing, Jephthah seemed destined for a life of shame and obscurity. Yet when Israel faced destruction from the Ammonites, these same people who had rejected him came desperately seeking his help. God took this broken, discarded man and made him Israel's deliverer and judge. His journey from outcast to leader proves that our past doesn't determine our future when God writes our story. Jephthah's life also demonstrates that faithfulness to God sometimes demands painful obedience. When he made a vow to sacrifice whatever first greeted him upon his victorious return, he never imagined it would be his beloved daughter. Despite his anguish, he refused to break his promise to God, and remarkably, his daughter supported his decision, saying, "Father, you gave your word to God. Do what you promised." Their story teaches us that true faith isn't measured by the absence of pain, but by our willingness to honor our commitments to God, even when the cost is greater than we ever imagined we'd have to pay. What part of Jephthah's story stayed with you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments. If you have been blessed by this video, kindly like,
share, and subscribe for more Bible stories. God bless you.